What's up, people? We are back with more of Sound of Drop Fall into Poison. In the previous video, we found, after we re-entered Manten Aquarium, we found Sayo and Mari together. Mayo and Sayo, Mari, however you want to call them. It makes it sound like they're a couple or something, but they're not really a couple. But for some reason, I just confused the two names together and then combined them actually as well. But yeah, after sort of hearing their side of the story of what they know is going on in Manten Aquarium, as well as what had happened just before we got here, because something has happened and we've learned that Saginuma Riko is actually working together with Hiyoshi Kenji, who we thought was a good guy for helping us escape and just sort of, I don't know, and generally being there for us whenever we needed someone. So I thought he was someone we could depend on, and then apparently he is actually the guy that lures girls to Manten Aquarium on the day, or the Red Manten Aquarium, whenever on the one day where it's sort of able to go here. On the, I believe it was on the day of the full moon, or was it the day after? Something with the full moon, but yeah. He lures those girls here, and then sort of kills them. Sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly, but they just need that life energy for the Red Manten Aquarium to continue living. So they're just sort of seen as sacrifices, and Kenji brings them here, and that sort of made me think that I think that Kenji did that to us, basically, to me and Himeno. He brought us here to have us killed, basically, sacrificed for the almighty Red Manten Aquarium. But yeah, we're a team of 3 together now. Me, Mayu, Sayo, and Mari. Almost said it wrong again, but yeah. Us 3 are together. We're no longer alone, and we're gonna try and tackle this situation with the 3 of us. So let's continue. Talking with Sayo, we decide to take the route to the director's office that passes through the tunnel tank, the Fish of the World booth, and the backstage passageway. The small aquarium supposedly has a magnificent director's office. Supposedly to reflect Sayo's father's preferences, expensive foreign-made furniture is situated around the room. It seems that when the deep-sea fish booth was open, one could see through the tank and watch the deep-sea fish from the director's office. I'm a little excited that I'll get to see such a magnificent room. Wow, pretty. It's pretty. But why is it so calm? Probably because they're among other companions. The tank part of the tunnel tank no longer has any meaning. As if all of the air is filled with water, the fish are swimming all about. Like the bizarre incident I witnessed with Kenji-san with the cutlass fish, I'm left completely confused. Yup, there. Oh, there, like she was patting. I thought she was pointing to her to the specific direction, like there. But no, she's petting Ray. Mari gently pets a ray that passes beside her. A group of sardine pass above our heads, casting shadows that look like bullets, and Mari follows them with her eyes until they pass. The flat fish that passes by my legs is a right-eye flounder? It's a large-toothed flounder. On the left is a large-toothed flounder. On the right is a right-eye flounder. Mayumi, you thought they were the same, didn't you? That's not true. The large-toothed flounder is so crisp and crunchy. It's delicious as sashimi. Funny that she recognizes the fish by how they actually, you know, the texture of it when you eat it. Not like the looks of it when it's swimming around in water. No. The right-eye flounder is more soft and flaky, so it's better boiled in soy sauce. I know the difference. Big sister, you're such a glutton. Even you, Mari? Jeez, I say and puff up my cheeks. At any rate, being able to actually enjoy the aquarium like this is refreshing. We are enjoying it, but the feeling is different. If nothing scary happens, this unreality isn't bad. Ah! Straight ahead of where I'm walking and spacing out, the nose of a large shadow brushes past me. I fall on my backside in surprise. Jeez, don't get so scared. It's because you get scared that they all react. Yeah, I'm alright. I wasn't scared, just surprised. Was that a sunfish just now? The large fish with the shape of a shuriken is an ocean sunfish. My feeling on being so close its nose could brush against me was that it was honestly grotesque. With its hollow face and its sleek touch to the skin, sleek to the touch skin, it's like the face of an alien swimming about. It's because you're scared that they react. They react to our negative emotions. Just because these creatures are here, there's no indication that they'll attack. Right now, I think that they're enjoying it a little. I don't really get it. But because I get along with them, they might not attack us? Even back when you came with me to the souvenir stand, no matter how many doors we passed through, nothing happened. Maybe you're special, Mari. She's one of them. Like, technically she's one of them, right? Regardless of whether you're a fish or a human, their souls are just sort of this sort of, not necessarily, okay, Mari isn't the vengeful spirit, but they're just, I guess, souls that can't move on, that have a reason to want, that keeps sort of pulling them back to Earth, I guess, and that's that one thing that just sort of disables them from being able to move on. And I guess with the fish it's sort of the same thing, so yeah, I would technically say she's one of them. Mari, you're amazing. Yeah, you're amazing for being dead. Not much of an accomplishment, I say, but whatever makes her feel better, I guess. Mari proudly folds her arms, unless of course it's a different reason and she is actually special, but we do not know, I think. On the other side of the tragic fact that the fish, like Mari, are no longer living, is the optimistic fact that they are not alone either. Manten Aquarium, when it's not experiencing phenomena, is smaller than I expected. We've probably walked for about 15 minutes. This is the director's office? Sayo nods, her lips pressed together. The door is solemn, bringing about an odd atmosphere. It's something of a mismatch with the tranquil aquarium, leaving a heavy impression. I'm a little scared, big sister. We took a look around, but Papa was nowhere to be found, so he must be here. This was his favorite place. Is there any chance that he's gone crazy? That he might have been taken in by his own hatred or malice? There is, but Mayumi, you went back to someone who lost it before, right? There's no reason I can't either. In other words, you're prepared for whatever may happen? Yes, I have been from the start. Taking the lead, Sayo places her hand on the door. We've been here before, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be an entirely different experience from the last time we've been here. Because the differences between my first playthrough and the second playthrough, now that we're, or to just sort of compare, that's when we were in the director's office, Sayo was dead and I was alone. But now, Sayo is still alive and Mari is with us, so yeah, I'd say things are pretty different compared to last time. No. Why? After entering the director's office, that's the first thing Sayo says. Just as Sayo told us, the director's office has expensive antique furniture, and one of the walls is a tank. The director's chair looks soft and comfortable to sit in. Why is he sitting there like normal? The director is sitting there, calmly. Sayo-chan, I think something is different. A pale blue light is flowing out from the tank. Looking inside from the entrance, the form of this director sitting there has the transparency of a projection on a screen, wavering about. Let's have a little look. Sayo, who was trying to make her way forward, stops, her shoulders shuddering. Seeing her father, who had passed away right before her eyes, it's natural that she would want to get closer. I understand such a feeling well, but I also understand that we can't lose our cool either. I stand the furthest forward of the three of us, my focus on the director's desk. It's the director, Sakuragi Isao. There's no mistake. That's my papa. Papa, can you hear me? What? I guess this is a flashback? Sagi no Mariko looks younger, I guess. At least different. I think it's younger. I can't quite picture the other Riko in my mind, so... Director. On the screen of light, one more character appears. Sagi no Mariko. But this is like a video or something. Here she appears, a little younger. Without even glancing our way, she faces the comfortably seated director. I feel like we've entered the director's office like during a time period that was all the way, apparently, you know, before Sagi no Mariko killed their dad or Papa. We're just gonna call it Papa as well. He's everyone's Papa, okay? Sagi no Mariko has a frantic look on her face and places her hands on the desk. The director wipes away the spot where Sagi no Mariko had placed her hands on the antique desk. She glares at the director for just a second before calming her expression. Why did you reject my plan? The greatest number of visitors to Manten East Building comes from women in their teens and 20s. There are also many couples. If we partner with other tenants or offer paired tickets, as well as attach ourselves to the image of a fashionable nightlife, we might expect a set minimum number of customers. We could also partner with magazines for coverage. Other aquariums aren't being touted as date spots yet. If we follow this course, it could be extremely advantageous to all involved. It goes without saying, an aquarium isn't some flashy attraction. Our purpose, through and through, is to display living things. Having foolish young people point and laugh, where's the respect for living things in that? In that case, shouldn't we convey to young people the splendor of marine life and teach them how precious it is, as well as the smallness of humanity? Then what was this application? Saying nothing to me, throwing several million yen into an addition for the stage. Children would love that. The number of visitors would temporarily increase. But does it serve any other purpose? You employ animal trainers to train them from scratch. We don't have the know-how for this. Moreover, given the scope of Manten Aquarium, how great of a show do you think we can offer? A show on stage won't win against our competition. Let's make that clear. If people get bored soon after, or left this as a balance in the red. It won't end up that way if the staff as a whole works together for that end. Director, you understand nothing. What we need is a new measure that will yield fast results. As management, you at least should grasp the gravity of the issue, right? And all your plan concerns itself with is profit in the immediate future. It is not money that keeps us going. It is living things. If we forget our feelings of respect for them, Manten Aquarium has no future. If we're shut down, many of them will be killed. Money absolutely supports Manten Aquarium, us, and the living things. Why can't you see that? It seems our ideas are fundamentally mismatched. Even so, I'm not merely thinking of profits in the intermediate future. Couples nowadays will likely be married in the future. If they continue to enjoy Manten Aquarium, then 10 years from now, they may even bring their own children to the Manten Aquarium. A result in 1 year is better than waiting 10 years for one, is it not? That's not what I'm trying to say. Rather than focusing on couples and the like, shouldn't you worry about getting married yourself? What? You're already 27, right? Normally, one would be well on the way to having children at that age, wouldn't they? Huh. If you have nothing to say back, then you lack any persuasive ability. If you have time to think up nonsense plans, then you have time to think of ways that the plan I'm pushing for can generate profit. Honestly, that was a little weird. Like, I could see both sides of the argument, but then when the director suddenly says like, well, you should kind of think about your own life and your own marriage. Like, that's such a personal thing when they're suddenly talking about business, and then he suddenly brings a personal thing into the matter. Like, where did that suddenly come from? What was the need for that? It just sort of feels out of place for him to say that, but he's the director. We can't say much against him. The two forms waver and disappear. Nothing remains but the light leaking from the tank as I replay the conversation in my mind. My image of the director has completely changed, but he could have never said something like that in front of Sayo. Even Mari looks like she has something she wants to say, but she just bites her lower lip and holds it in. Horrible! Papa! You're the worst! Sayo is the first to put her feelings into words. I guess I should have said something after all. His way of thinking was completely wrong. Still, that was no reason to kill. Big sister, it's not over yet. Mari says, breaking through my words, and points towards the desk. Uh-oh, the video is not over yet. Wait, this is a more recent one. Ah, it's because of her makeup. That's when she seems a little older, I think. An image once again appears in the light. Similar to before, it's those two again. The director seems to have more grey hair this time around. Director, please take a look at this. What is this? I have finalized the proposed budget for plans to alter the jellyfish booth. This is so we can change it to be more cognizant of the lighting, keeping true to the creation of a universe befitting the name Manten. Ibaraki's aquarium is saying they are making their own alterations and plan to decrease the number of jellyfish so we could cheaply inherit those jellyfish. The architect we've requested is popular as the artist who designed the monument in front of Manten Station. Using connections through an acquaintance of mine, I plan to make use of him at a discount. As a prerequisite, I would like your word that if this plan succeeds, we would continue to request alterations to Manten Aquarium. I anticipate better synergy than I saw with the plan of mine you rejected 2 years ago. Although it's just fine if you don't think about it at all, just giving your stamp of approval is also more than enough. This Saginuma Riko's tone of voice is different from the previous ones. In those 2 years, since she spoke to him, something must have happened to increase her confidence. What nonsense! It's precisely because I've guided us towards appealing to children that our customer base has increased in the last 2 years. Bringing your plan back into play now would only put us in the red once more. So what? You just want to treat the living creatures we obtained like cheap objects? The money we lost on the addition to the stage was recouped by my plan to collaborate with talent agencies. Do not forget that. The one who decided to make an addition to the stage was me. It was due to my intuition that we experienced success. Do I need to repeat myself? Your plan is rejected. From here on, we focus on additions to the deep sea fish booth. Even if you reject it, all of the other employees are in agreement. Under the circumstances, even if you don't approve it, my stamp would be more than enough. In order for you to save face, Director Sakuragi, I am humbly requesting your approval. How conceited. I've always thought you were too brazen, ever since you came here on an internship in graduate school. You had no real business management experience, yet you somehow find nothing but fault with Manten Aquarium, to say nothing of the fact that you decided to present it all to me in the form of a report. You have a point about my position as a graduate student at the time, but should I not tell you when it's relevant? Even if you had been an employee, the proper procedure is to address these things one by one with management. I'm at my limits with you. Listen, Manten Aquarium is my aquarium. Commit that to memory. Didn't you say something about paying respect to living creatures? You seem to be contradicting yourself. I'm not making any sort of contradiction. It's because of your impudence that you can't seem to marry. What? Why does he keep bringing this up? Without even reading it, the director tears up the plan in his hands and throws it away. At any rate... Oh wait, that's the director. At any rate, I will reject that plan every time you bring it to me. Do you have anything else you need to say to me? Wow. No matter what the director says to Sagi no Mariko, she boldly smiles back. Possibly because she's trying not to show the fear she feels inside. Mari grabs onto my fingers. In contrast, Sayo silently watches the replay shown in the light without looking away. This shows such a different side of the director from the first playthrough, and I can't help but feel for Sayo, because this is probably a side that she has not seen of her father or papa yet either, right? So to just see that, after putting all this hope in, like, my dad died, something must have happened, I want to find out why, and then you see in a flashback or whatever this is, phenomena, that your dad is actually kind of an asshole, and you're like, well, he deserved it. Okay, she's probably not gonna think that, but it must hurt her deeply. That's right, director. It seems you've been taking the train to work lately. Yes, that's right. The company car is in for repairs. My, how unfortunate. There are some who speak badly of you, saying how you used funds to buy that car. But that seems to have quieted down, just as you might have hoped. Did you come here to expel sarcasm? I received approval from accounting before making that purchase. There's nothing to blame me for. Indeed. We mustn't forget to get approval of our management and accounting. And you have a child, so you have need of a car. That's enough. If you have time for such idle chatter, you have time to bring me a plan I can actually agree to. Yes. About half a month ago, I was on my way home from work, walking down the street at night, when I was almost hit by a car. That late at night, they were likely pressing their luck by speeding. Luckily, I was able to avoid them, and they lightly hit a telephone pole, but it was just barely. Oh, don't tell me where this is going. With there being no people out so late, it could have been bad if I were involved in a hit and run. Yes. It was dark, so I couldn't see the license plate number, but I knew the model of the car. It was... Yes, a foreign sports car. That's because it's a fast car. There are probably tons of idiots who drive fast late at night. I believe that it was about a half month ago when you started taking the train. Wasn't it, director? Uh-oh. I knew. Do you mean to say that I did it? Don't be absurd. I was merely seeing if you had any thoughts, director. I wouldn't dare bear such doubts in my heart. Get out! Get out now! My pleasure. Director Sakuragi, you should also be careful on the streets at night. Hehe. Wow. Poor Sayo. That's the only thing that comes to mind. Poor Sayo. The projection on the light begins to fade with Sagi no Mariko's unsettling laughter finally disappearing altogether. The remnants of the light become droplets and are drawn into the ceiling until the last of it disappears. A silence remains over the three of us. That's unacceptable! Unable to bear it any longer, I'm the first to open my mouth. The director probably did try to run Riko-san over. He may have even killed her, but if hate is returned with hate, the cycle will never end. Anger can beget nothing but anger. Hatred can beget nothing but hatred. And malice will be returned with nothing but malice. At that rate, people can do nothing but argue and fight. Well, Mayumi, if that Himeno girl were killed, would you be able to go on without hating, for example, the one who created this Manten Aquarium? My papa? Trying to think of a rebuttal, I shut my mouth, but Sayo won't let me off that easily. Poison is something that exists to protect one's own body. Those dark feelings people direct at one another are the same. Because people know that someone else carries that poison known as anger or hate, they basically won't come any closer than necessary, nor will they attack. Still, once one bares their fangs, there's nothing left but to fight. In order to protect oneself, they'll return poison with poison. In that case, it won't end until someone dies. Sayo-chan, that's scary. Mari says this in a serious tone, but Sayo doesn't look in the direction. She merely bites her lips slightly. I pat Mari's head and say to Sayo, there is the possibility of a light that can end the chain of hatred, right, Mari? Big sister, what do you mean? Nothing. I'm just saying how great you are, Mari. I don't get it at all, but I got complimented. Yay! Seeing her innocently cheered up so easily, I smile a bit. But I wonder what was up with that projection earlier. We proceed further into the director's office. There's no projector or anything of the sort. There's no explanation, but that's just like the expression I got. The images were projected on the light leaking out of the tank. Who knows? You said you wanted to see the truth with me, so maybe the aquarium reacted to that desire, or something like that. No matter how ugly or terrible it is, we have reached the truth. All we have to do now is find Papa. If we want to bring an end to this world, we have to end the curse. The red Manten Aquarium will disappear. That's probably what's on the other side of the truth Sayo seeks. At that time, what will happen to Mari? Am I unable to give voice to the questions floating about in my heart? I'm sure this girl will easily give us those answers. What a shame. You've arrived at is nothing more than facts. We still hold the truth in our hands. Saginuma Riko! There she is! Saginuma Riko stands at the entrance to the room, the door having been left open. Having seen her argument with the director, the animosity towards her has softened. Even murderers have reasons. I can't be sure, but could the reason that she didn't directly lay a hand on Mari means that she was trying to protect her? I was just thinking that I wanted to have a little chat with you. My, what an honor. You jerk, stop acting so high and mighty and tell us about this truth. No, that is her, but it isn't her. That whole projection was true. In light of my confrontations with management, the director tried to settle things by taking my life, since there was no place for him anymore. That's why I decided to kill him. At Saginuma Riko's words, the temperature in the room drops. The air becomes so tense at those few words that it's almost painful on the surface of my skin. No matter what truth she might be hiding, I'm sure that her murderous intent is pure. What? Kenji? Mayu-chan! Sayo-chan! Run away! Leave this to me! Is this another act again or what? Kenji-san! The voice continues from behind Saginuma Riko. It's a frantic voice, but a powerful and dependable one. How did you know Sayo's name? Kenji-san's eyebrow twitches. That's because I heard you guys call her that. That's enough, Kenji-kun. There's been a change in strategy. A silence flows through the room. By my own discovery, the final line has been crossed. But I can't fall apart here. I have Mari by my side. You've gotten so big, Sayo-chan. My, didn't I say so earlier? You've done a nice job surviving. Shut your wrinkled mouth. We know that you two are working together. Insult me all you like, but I wonder if that will be enough to absolve your hatred. Kenji-san walks to Sagino Mariko's side and loudly cracks his neck. Crack. The three of us are facing the two of them head on. It's like 2.5 girls against Riko and Kenji. Big sister, what do we do? Those people were looking for us, right? They had the same look when they killed me. It's alright. It'll all be fine. I place my hand on Mari's head and I can feel that she's shaking. She's afraid. It's not impossible that Mari would remember the moment she was killed. When she saw them, she probably remembered the fear she felt back then. Anyway, there are too many things we don't understand. Please tell us. Like when you pushed Sagino Mariko, Kenji-san. You were trying to save us, weren't you? Kenji-san, you said? How funny. What is? Mayumi, calm down. It's not good for you to let her rile you up. Just as Sayo says this, I glare at Sagino Mariko. Even though she's realized she's completely misjudged you, this girl continues to trust you. Well, that's not impossible. That's what I led her to believe. Didn't you say we needed to restore that one piece of the aquarium? What do you mean? Sagino Mariko responds to Sayo's question by snickering, as if he's mimicking her. Kenji-san also snickers. The pair's actions are frighteningly similar. Is something taking control of both of them, or is Kenji taking control of her too, or is Riko taking control of Kenji-san as well? Considering the first action was made by Riko, and then Kenji made the same action sort of after that. I think if one of them would be in control of both of them, it would probably be Riko-san. Big sister, something's not right after all. I know, this isn't the Kenji-san I know. No, that's not what I meant. The two of them are weird, but they're the same. They're fuzzy. Fuzzy wuzzy. Mari-chan, so you've realized it after all. Hearing him speak so lightly to her, Mari glares hard at him. Neither Kenji-san nor Riko-san appears agitated by this. Listen, okay? I realize that the tone of Kenji-san's voice has changed, and I swallow. The red Manten Aquarium is itself a gathering of numerous wills. You can call those wills souls. The murder of the director and the resulting grudge serve as a core, and the base of each of those souls is made up of that directive. Primarily, the fish souls, which lack the same thinking as humans, use that directivity to maintain this malicious world. In order to gather those souls, you spread that rumor among stupid junior high girls, didn't you? Stupid, you say, even though you're the same as they are. Sayo clicks her tongue in response to Sagino Mariko's words. Kenji-san continues, unaffected. Generally, those trapped souls lack individuality. Just like an animal, the existence known as Red Manten Aquarium has no instinct but to preserve itself. Since more than half of the souls comprising this world are fish, it only makes sense. However, it is possible for individuality to be regained in concert with the visit of a human they are linked to. Oh, is that what happened to Mari? You told me you ran into something you knew long ago. If that person's link to you is strong enough, they may appear as an individual. You could also call them as a ghost or a vengeful spirit. Just like the girl at your side, Mari-chan. Even as Kenji-san looks at her suggestively, Mari merely sticks out her tongue and pulls down her eyelid. His story up to now isn't that different from what Sayo and I expected, but as we're waiting, he continues the conversation. Your bond is too strong, or it's possible that the directivity that Mari's soul possesses is completely different. The two of you being brought together alone may have been enough to put Manten Aquarium in danger of being destroyed. If we carelessly killed Mayu-chan and the two souls came together, this place would surely be liberated from the curse. Like the plankton who can't go against the ocean current, the souls pulled here in Manten Aquarium would follow the direction of the pure love the two of you share. It would defeat the hatred that serves at this place directive. That's why, at first, I tried to keep you two apart. After that, I would get rid of Mari. If I killed Mayu-chan a month later, we would safely continue supplementing the aquarium with life energy. We would continue on, peacefully. That's why he lured us out. God damn it, Kenji. Since you brought Himeno-chan with you, fate could have gone either way. That was a close call. Are you saying that's the reason you saved me from danger then? I want him to deny it. Please deny it. I had sincerely thanked him, and I had respected him. Yeah, it'd be a burden if you died so carelessly. You... But... but isn't the thing then... This makes me think, yeah? If we... So apparently he didn't want us to die, yeah? But there are about 30 bad endings that result in us dying, right? So in a sense, if we were to die, which is branded as a bad ending, but if we then die and then the situation occurs that when he mentions that are the love that Mayu and Mari share and the purity of it, if the rest of the fish that sort of keeps the maliceness of the Red Manten Aquarium alive, if they follow our purity, the purity of our love, then Red Manten Aquarium would be destroyed, right? So us dying would then actually, strangely enough, result in a good ending, right? Because then Red Manten Aquarium disappeared. Like, sure, okay, Mayumi dying is not the best result you could ask for, but it's not necessarily the worst ending, right? There's a little bit of contradictory in that, I feel. I could be wrong about that, but... It feels as if everything supporting me has crumbled away. Even so, the fact that Mari and Sayo are with me becomes my strength. That's true, like, up until now, like, Mayumi has sort of been that, kind of a weak person at least, but she gained a lot of confidence and just more strength from, I guess, just from being with Kenji throughout this entire journey. And now that is sort of fallen away because she realized that, well, what Kenji appeared to be for her was all a lie, basically. So yeah, dang. But we found new strength, so somehow I'm able to continue standing. I'm not sure if Sayo has stopped paying attention to me or not, but she begins to ask Kenji-san her own question. But I heard you once tried to kill Mayumi! That's right, that was careless. There is proof that your bond created resentment. Still, not completely in possession of her individuality, but in connection with Manten Aquarium. Mari-chan was trying to warn you, Mayu-chan, when you were with me. Oh right, then. The connection with Manten Aquarium was temporarily severed. Because of that, I was ensnared by the grudge of Manten Aquarium, and Hiyoshi Kenji's true nature became exaggerated. If I had just been a soul, I would have disappeared on the spot and never attacked you, Mayu-chan. So, you are living after all. You're the main one spreading all those urban legends amongst junior high girls. You could say that, but it's difficult to say whether or not I'm actually living. You talk too much, Kenji-san. There's no point in telling the ones you'll kill all of this. Time is eternal, but it's best to leave out the unnecessary. Kill? Myself aside, wouldn't it be a problem if you killed these two? I told you, didn't I? Heh, our plans have changed. As Saginu Mariko says those words, the room or entire room undergoes a change. A faint tremor reaches the back of my legs. It gradually grows larger. The antique furniture in the director's office shakes even more violently. I've heard of poltergeist phenomena. It's when objects move on their own or people suddenly hear noises. I'm sure that's what this is. Uh-oh. When I notice the water, it's turned red, like blood. The red color doesn't stop with the tank, but overflows into the rest of the room as a red light. Big sister! Sayo-chan, watch out! I know. This is... They're connected with this place. In other words, they can interfere with the phenomena that happen here. The vibrations have become more violent, like a strong earthquake, leaving me unable to stay standing. Mari clings to me as I cling to the shaking desk. Uh-oh. Kya! Oh god, the books that fly off the bookshelves come straight at me. Somehow I shield myself in my hand, but a corner hits the bone of my arm, leaving a bruise. The bookshelf is overflowing, scattering everywhere on top of the desk. The glass picture frame has fallen onto the floor, breaking on impact and tearing the picture inside. The smile of the girl depicted in the photo has been split in two, right down the middle. Mayu, we have to get out of here, now! But the exit is blocked. Moreover, the murderous intent of that pair is unmistakably real. But just as Sayo says, if we don't get out of here, we can't regroup. Just like when we were attacked by the orca or frogs, this phenomena is probably also being orchestrated by those two. Under the chair, there's a hidden passage that leads to the deep sea fish booth. Huh? I can't hear you! The violent shaking cancels out our voices. Big sister! Under the chair! Let's go together! Yeah! As soon as I take a step, I stumble. The shaking of the room has gotten so violent, I can't walk very easily. Gah! Mayumi, you're caught up in something! Sayo's voice sounds like she's in pain. Unable to stand the shaking any longer, she sinks to the ground. Unlike me, she has nothing to grab onto, so it's natural. Leaning onto the desk as I continue to shake, I twist my body and move under the chair. This is... Just as Sayo said, there's a square on the floor made of a different material from the rest. In the middle of the wooden floor is an out-of-place metal area. It has a handle which I grab onto. With all my might, I pull it up. No. Hurry! Do it! I almost can't hear Sayo's voice, only understanding that she's hurrying me along. I'll help too. Is it locked? Mari stretches her hand around my waist and pulls, but the door in the floor won't budge. Why? As far as we can tell, it isn't that it's locked. How amusing. I have to hurry. This won't end with the poltergeist phenomena alone. But as we struggle against insurmountable odds in the deep red room, Saginu Mariko merely laughs. Sorry, Mayu-chan. This is for what they call the survival instinct of a seed. Kenji-san is saying something. It's similar, as if to embody my bad premonition. What is that? Within the red light, a large black shadow wriggles around. It doesn't take much time to realize that the shadow itself is a living thing. Mr. Whale. What? We've stopped trying to pull on the door, looking up at the large creature. Unable to fit in the room, it crashes into the wall. No, if it were just a ghost, then a container like a mere room would be irrelevant. My, Kenji-san, so it's making an apprentice. The world's largest living creature, the blue whale. It's not something I can completely control. With the malice being born from Manten Aquarium, under these circumstances, it's likely being created spontaneously. It is a whale. It wasn't here originally, like the orca, and frogs and jellyfish. So why? This is another bond, the memory of the greatest terror engraved onto the hearts of the fish's souls. It's an overwhelming fear for living things, a form that swallows everything. We're cut off in a completely closed off world. After this, we will sublimate everything into one ideal, a true grudge with no impurities. It will become this world's new truth. Do you understand? Either way, it means you'll all be returned to nothingness. More than death, more than erasure. It will be a complete and pure eternity. I'm sure you can hardly wait. I can sense individual will in their words. If they were humans, they wouldn't adhere to something so ridiculous. It's the outer limits of survival instinct. I can't understand the full story behind their objective. It's specifically because I don't understand the true nature of it that I find it terrifying. As if embodying the fear I feel, the shadow that I can see as nothing other than a whale finally shows its form clearly. We have to run! When my thoughts finally return to the present, it's almost completely like the whales I've seen in picture reference books and images. I will help too! When Sayo takes her hands off the floor, the bookshelf aims for her and flies her away. It's not a direct hit, but even that light impact with her shoulder sends Sayo's body flying into the wall. Ow! Sayo! Sayo applies pressure to her shoulder and leans her back against the tank wall. Bathed in the red light, it creates a deep shadow. When Sayo is thrown back, something falls down with a flash of light. It slides across the floor and stops at Kenji-san's feet. It's the keychain I lent to Sayo! The strange sticker stuck on the back is facing up. This is Papa's. We don't have time to grab it. This way! Holding onto the desk, I reach out my hand for Sayo. The desk is shaking so hard I have no idea when it will fall. Moreover, there's no time as the shaking grows more and more violent. Sayo... What? In an instant, the shaking stops. What? Was Papa controlling Kenji? Huh? Shocked at the sudden turn of events, I return my gaze to Kenji-san. Hiyoshi-san is blurry. Big sister, it's open. The light in the room returns to a color blue, and the shadow of the large creature disappears. As I listen to Mari's voice, I open my eyes wide. As if it's being projected onto him, there is the form of an unfamiliar man layered over Hiyoshi-san's body. It's the man shown in the sticker photo with Sayo. Kenji-san, no, that man has dropped his gaze to the keychain and is trembling. What's that? Sayo-chan too! Despite Mari calling out to her, Sayo gives no response, so I grab her arm. There's no mistake about it. This is our chance to run! This little... Sagi no Mariko stomps on the keychain and has fallen onto the floor. Ah! This thing! This little thing! When it doesn't break on the first try, she stomps on it over and over again with her hard high heel. Cracks finally appear in it, and she smashes it to pieces. At almost the same time, the three of us go through the door in the floor. Only one step further and... By the time we flee the director's office, Kenji-san has turned his sharp eyes on us. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna end the video here. Holy freaking crap. This goes so much further than the previous time when I finished the game. Holy crap. well, I'm just gonna continue playing the next, because I want to find out what happens next. So yeah, let's move on to the next video very quickly. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!